This is the story of April 2020, when many people lost their lives due to coronavirus. Everyone was locked in their house, the roads were deserted. At that time, if there was maximum crowd, then it was in the hospitals. My name is Jack. I lived in Chicago with my family. There is another important character in this story, my friend Willie. We both used to work in a hospital in Chicago. Our duties were mostly in the morgue. We had not seen so many dead bodies in our entire career as seen in the period of coronavirus. And some of those dead bodies were of our friends as well as of our neighbors. Willie used to get very emotional sometimes and used to talk strangely, that I wish we could see our friends again. It was not possible to get it, but he used to search for these things on Google. And he read strange books of black magic. Sometimes our shift used to last till late night, but Willie's father didn't like being out late at night. He believed in ghosts. He used to tell me and Willie that don't go out after midnight. This is the time of dead people. I used to laugh and avoid it, but Willie believed in his father's words somewhere. He never used to do night shift. He really didn't go out after midnight. I used to make fun of him a lot. Then one day a bad incident happens. Willie's father gets corona and he died. Willie was very upset for his father's death. Willie doesn't show up for work for a long time and doesn't even receive my calls. But I talked to his mother. She told that Willie does not meet much. He locked himself in his father's room. Then about 2 weeks passed. One night I was at my house. At around 2 o'clock in the night, I get a call from Willie. I wake up. I received the call. And he said, "I want you to meet some people. I am sending a location, come there." I was not surprised that Willie called me after so many days. Rather, I was surprised that he was out at 2 o'clock in the night. But Willie was meeting after so many days, so I thought he is upset, and I should be with him. So I didn't ask him more questions. I said, "Okay, I am coming." I didn't know whom he wanted to introduce me to. The location he sent me was somewhere near the highway, about 15 minutes away from my house. At that time, whoever was going out hiding from the police because it was not allowed to go out in lockdown. I don't want my car to make noise, so I thought it's better to go on foot. I come out of the house and follow the location. There are street lights as far as people's houses are built. As soon as I come out of the street and towards the highway, I move ahead. There is no street light. It slowly gets so dark that now I have to turn on the flashlight of my mobile. Then the same thing happens to me, which often happens to everyone, in the dark. I can hear someone walking right behind me. I hear a sound, as if someone is walking right behind me. I look back again and again. I don't see anyone. I move fast and reach closer to the location. At a distance I see restaurant. I go near it. It was very old and strange restaurant. It was abandoned and was closed for a long time. I was already very scared, so I was not going to go inside like this. I used to call Willie from outside. Call received, and there is a sound of someone saying hello. But that voice is not of Willie. I ask who is speaking. Then the call gets disconnected. I had heard this voice before, but I do not remember whose voice it is. Where did I hear this voice before? I call again. And once again in the same voice, and someone says hello, and then says, "How many times have you been told, don't go out after midnight, because this time belongs to dead people?" On hearing this, I got remember whose voice it is. And probably you all also understood whose voice it was. Willie's father, who died 2 weeks ago. Before I got anything, or even before I could think, Willie comes out of that restaurant laughing, and says that I really can mimic same voice of my father. I feel a little relaxed after hearing this and seeing Willie. Willie asks me to walk inside the restaurant. But before we go in, I get a call from the hospital where me and Willie work. Usually I have night shift, so it was not new to get calls from the hospital late at night. But Willie didn't let me receive the call. Willie takes the phone from my hand and disconnects the call, and switches off my phone and then gives it to me, and says it is getting late. I want to introduce someone. I myself wanted to know whom he want me to introduce. So I go inside. The restaurant was as strange and scary as it was from outside. It was much more scary from inside. As soon as we entered the restaurant, Willie's voice changed. He started talking very fast. He was laughing outside, but after coming inside the restaurant, sadness came on his face. Willie asks me to sit on the chair, and there was only one chair in the whole restaurant, and it was kept right in the middle. Willie says, sitting me on the chair, "You sit, I will call those people," and goes up the stairs. It all seemed very strange to me, and now I was afraid. I wonder why Willie didn't let me receive the call. Why did he switch off my phone? I switched on my mobile as soon as Willie left, and called the hospital back. There is a man sitting at the reception who received the call, and he says to me, "Come to the hospital quickly, there is a suicide case." I said, "Tell the doctor, I will come and do my work in the morning." He says that the suicide case is of your friend Willie. He has died. He found hanging in his father's room. I was already very scared, and after hearing this I just wanted to get out of there. I cut the call and put the mobile in my pocket, and ran towards the door. But someone blocked my way at the door standing. His head was bowed down in the dark. I can't see his face. Then he raises his head and tells me, "Don't go out after midnight. This is the time of dead people." He was Willie's father. Then Willie comes down the stairs with some people, and says, "You seem to have met Dad. Let me introduce you to some more people." He brings them all to me, and I recognize their faces. The friends and neighbors I told you about earlier who died due to corona were all the same. Willie asks me to sit on that chair again, and all those people stand like a circle around me, and they all keep saying the same thing over and over again. "Don't go out after midnight, it's the time of the dead people." They keep saying the same thing over and over again. You all must be thinking, how did get out alive? No, I could not get out alive.
And at this time you are listening a story of a ghost. By a ghost.